Abhi and the Lost Coin. In the humble village of Navgram, surrounded by fields of wheat and rows of tiny mud houses, lived a boy named Abhi. He was no more than 12, skinny from hunger but strong in heart. His family was poor, barely able to afford a full meal each day, yet they were rich in values, honesty, kindness, and hard work. One hot afternoon, Abhi was walking through the dusty village square when his eyes caught a golden glint in the dirt. Curious, he knelt down and found something he'd never imagined owning in his wildest dreams: a gold coin. His heart pounded. He looked around quickly. No one seemed to notice. He picked it up and held it tight. A gold coin. For someone like him, it was not just a coin. It could mean new clothes, a full sack of rice, maybe even new slippers and books for school. For a moment, temptation whispered in his ear, "Keep it. No one saw you. This could change your life." But then another voice echoed louder: his parents' teachings. They had always told him, "We may be poor, Abhi, but our soul must be clean. Character is what matters, especially when no one is watching." He sighed. He couldn't ignore their voices, not now. Abhi wanted to return the coin, but he was also wise beyond his years. He knew if he simply asked around, many greedy people would claim it falsely. He needed to find the true owner, without revealing he had it, so he came up with a plan. For the next several days, Abhi went door to door in the village, pretending to be hungry, thirsty, or simply lost. "Can I have a little water? Do you have something to eat? My home is far, I just need a place to rest." Everywhere he went, he watched closely. He looked into the eyes of each person, searching for sadness, listening carefully. Some people welcomed him with food, some turned him away. But none spoke of a lost gold coin. Until one evening, just as the sun began to dip behind the banyan trees, he arrived at a small broken house on the village outskirts. An old farmer, frail and weathered, sat on a wooden bench outside, staring blankly at the ground. Abhi approached him and said, "Uncle, I'm very hungry. My house is quite far. Could you give me something to eat?" The farmer nodded silently and brought out a piece of dry roti. Abhi noticed his eyes were filled with tears. "Are you all right?" Abhi asked gently, taking the roti. "You seem very sad." The old man hesitated, wiping his face with the edge of his turban, but Abhi pushed again. "Please tell me. Maybe I can help." Finally, the farmer spoke, his voice cracked and low. "I worked an entire year for a merchant. I did everything, cleaned, harvested, lifted grain, cooked, everything he asked. When the year ended, he gave me my full pay, a gold coin. It was the most I've ever earned in my life. I planned to marry my daughter with that money, but I lost it somewhere in the market." His voice broke, and he sobbed openly. "I don't have the strength to work another year, and now, how will I look into my daughter's eyes?" Abhi's eyes widened. He had found the rightful owner. He reached into his pocket, pulled out the coin, and slowly placed it in the farmer's hand. Is this the one?" The farmer stared in disbelief, rubbing his eyes again and again. Then suddenly, he stood up and began to cry and laugh at the same time, holding the coin tightly to his chest. "This is it! My coin! My daughter will have her wedding! My honor is saved!" He danced with joy, tears streaming down his face, and called out to his neighbors. Soon, the word spread like wildfire through the village. Everyone gathered around the old man's house. The farmer told them what had happened, how a poor boy who could have easily kept the coin had searched silently and found the true owner. People were amazed. Some were speechless, others cried. The village chief arrived and, after hearing the story, placed his hand on Abhi's shoulder and said, "You may be poor, child, but your heart is made of gold. Your honesty has taught us all a lesson." From that day forward, Abhi became known as Sacha Abhi, Honest Abhi. The villagers began offering him help, free schooling, new clothes, food for his family, but Abhi accepted only what was needed, refusing luxury. Abhi grew up to become a respected teacher. He built a small school where he taught children not just how to read and write, but how to live with truth and dignity. People from nearby villages came just to hear him speak, and in a wooden box on his desk lay a single gold coin, not for its value, but as a reminder of the day he chose right over easy. Moral of the story: true honesty is not tested when others are watching, but when no one is. Abhi's story teaches us that doing the right thing is always worth it, even when it seems like no one will notice. Because one act of integrity can change not just your life, but the world around you. If you like my story, please like, comment, and subscribe my channel.